TLP, Tables, Ladders, and Podcasts, where we don't just set the bar for wrestling podcasts. We are the bar. I'm your host, Walk, and with me, as always, is my buddy and co-host, Mike. Mike, what's going on, man?
Not much. I'm doing all right. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go.
Well, let's go then, if you don't mind me saying so. Let's start off with Monday Night Raw recap, shall we?
Sure.
All right, well, let's just go down the list here then. Confirmed match now, Strowman versus Reigns. Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw has announced to the world and Roman Reigns that he will be cashing in his Money in the Bank contract against Roman Reigns at Hell in a Cell for the Universal title. And frankly, Mike, there hasn't been this much hell in a cell since 1998 when Taker broke Mankind in half.
Yeah, that's a big match in Hell in a Cell history. I haven't been this excited for a Hell in a Cell match since about 4 days ago when they announced AJ Styles was going to take Samoa Joe on in Hell in a Cell on that same card. But that's neither here nor there. I'm excited for both matches.
Should be which one's going to be your favorite? Which one do you think is going to be your favorite?
If Braun wins, it'll probably be Braun.
I can see that.
But this is probably the last time a champion has said, let's go make this a pay-per-view match, go one-on-one, since RVD did it against John Cena. And that was one hell of a match, and it was awesome.
It's true.
If you haven't watched it, check it out. ECW, One Night Stand, I think it's 2006. Could be wrong there. It's around that time frame. RVD versus John Cena. Great match, great crowd, it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember what year that was, but I think you're in the right time frame, and that's all that really matters.
You know what RVD 420 says?
What does RVD 420 say?
RVD 420 says, I just smoked that ass.
Ooh. I like it. So yeah, we got treated to another Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin match as well.
Yeah, that was exciting. General Manager Baron Corbin, who...
Yeah, that's true. Acting GM Baron Corbin.
First night on the job, man. I can understand. He's got a lot of nerves, a lot of pressure on him. Stephanie's watching over his back. Kurt's waiting to take his job back at any moment. It's a lot of pressure on a new GM.
It is. To be fair, he did just forget that that it was a no DQ match to begin with. He went in. He didn't explain the rules, but that's okay. He's got a lot on his plate. It's his first day. It's excusable. It's an excusable offense in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were saying. He beat Finn Balor in a match we've seen, I think, like 30 times over the last 30 days. That's what it felt like, at least. I mean, we've seen this match every week for last week.
Yeah.
This is just another added story to it.
We've seen this match so much that at this point I haven't cared less about a feud since Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie started fighting over custody of their kids.
All right, man. That's a interesting take. That's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what it does for either of them that Corbin won. It's weird. I think they need to move on. It's time to go. The Demon had a title shot last week. Well, not the Demon, but Finn Balor had a title shot, and then we saw the Demon at SummerSlam. I think it's time for them to move on. Bigger, better things.
I can agree with that. And just like them moving on to bigger and better things, let's also move on to bigger and better things with the match between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title.
Before we get there, I wanted to point out a few things. So it's a little odd that we haven't seen the Shield yet. They were the biggest part of the show last week, and they were like advertised all week. They were supposed to be the big stars. They didn't even get the first segment, which was weird. And then we don't see them in like they're not together at all, like all night really. We don't hear the music. It's not really anything. It's kind of an afterthought. The biggest shout out they get is Braun Strowman saying, "Your boys, where's your boys at?" And
yeah,
that's just kind of strange.
I mean, yeah, kind of, I guess. But I mean, they all were wearing their Shield shirts backstage, so I mean.
Yeah, I know, but I was expecting a little bit more. At least let them all go in the ring, and to start the show. I don't know. It's weird. They get them all pumped after all this time, and there's just nothing really there. They all do their own separate things.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all going to play in though because they all came in at the end though together. So not together, but you know what I mean. Like,
I guess
they all played a role in the end. So it's the same.
Kinda. They did, yeah. But we'll get there when we get there.
All right, so now should we move on to bigger and better things?
Do you want to talk about how Roman Reigns keeps calling Braun Strowman the Meat Shack? I think that's a pretty cool nickname.
I think I need to open a restaurant called the Meat Shack, to be honest with you.
If someone called me the Meat Shack, I'd be pretty pumped up.
I feel like that's more of a compliment than an insult, to be honest with you.
It's definitely not an insult. That's a pretty cool nickname. I don't know what's better, Bob or the Meat Shack.
I mean, Roman Reigns clearly just needs to go back to the WWE Performance Center and work on his insults a little bit. His game on the mic has been really good. He just uses, like, the kind of insults you expect from a, like a 5-year-old on the playground.
When do you think Roman Reigns will start calling people chief, big guy, little guy, hey son,
sport,
yeah,
all of those good things?
I think that's what's next for Roman.
I think it's coming, to be honest with you. I think we're closer to that than we are to a lot of other things.
All right, let's go ahead. Kevin Owens, Seth, match of the night for sure, right?
Oh yeah, match of the night for sure, absolutely.
Intercontinental Open Challenge. Seth Rollins, he delivers every Open Challenge we get. It was awesome.
It was very cool. I liked it a lot. I think it's an interesting bit of writing to have Seth Rollins go back to doing the exact thing that lost him his Intercontinental title in the first place, especially so soon after, a week. What is it? 8 days after winning it back.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It seems like he doesn't learn anything. He just kind of immediately goes right back to, hey, I'm gonna keep doing this again. Which, I mean, story-wise, I don't know how good that is, but it was a damn fine match, so I guess I should really just stop complaining.
It was a really great match. We saw stunners, frog splashes, everything else in between. It was phenomenal. Stone Cold gave his approval to Stunner. Great match. If you're going to watch any match this week. What's that? I'm sorry.
Anytime Stone Cold gives you approval of the Stunner, then that's just... I'm glad Kevin Owens said he quit because he did the right thing. He quit on top, even though he didn't win the match. I think getting Stone Cold's approval of a Stunner is way more important than any Intercontinental title reign. So, congrats to KO. He is going out as the greatest professional wrestler of all time now.
So, let's touch on that quitting moment for a second. So,
okay.
He delivered with it, man. He sat in there the whole time. He had the tears in his eyes. He said the 2 words and he just walked out. He had the true emotion on. I don't really know what they're playing right now. I don't know if they're just giving a break, what the deal is, but Kevin Owens, I felt for him. I really felt for him. I don't know what they're doing with him, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I kind of like, not that he's obviously not that he's leaving, but I like the fact that I think now it makes him way more dangerous because I think now that he had a good match, he kind of showed that, hey, I'm not just a random... I'm not someone that's getting steamrolled by Braun Strowman anymore. I'm taking Seth Rollins to the limit for his title, and, I'm 1 move away from winning. And now that he feels like he's just, he's done. He's just fuck it. I'm done. I quit. Nothing can get right. And now he's more dangerous than ever because we don't know when he's going to come back and when he's going to strike, and I don't know.
So I just want to say about Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens. He's my Nicolas Cage. He's my national treasure. Maybe Kevin Owens just quit because he heard about this awesome card in Chicago on Saturday, All In. Maybe Kevin Owens wants to go back to the independent scene.
Mike, that's I'm gonna rate that. I'm gonna rate that as a jalapeno pepper on terms of the spicy take scale because that's a pretty spicy take.
Yeah, there's no chance he's gonna be there. But you know who could be there? Neville.
Yeah.
I think Neville might be there.
Neville might be there. That's a very real possibility.
Anyway, we'll talk more about All In later. Yeah, that's about all I got for Kevin Owens and Seth.
Yeah, I don't have anything more either.
So then we had the Revival to take out the B team. Best thing about this is the Revival dropped the promo at the end. They said top guys out, and I think we should start saying top guys out.
All right, it's official now. Every TLP podcast will now be closed by us saying top guys out.
Yeah, we got to work on getting over first, but once we get over, then we'll definitely be saying top guys out.
I don't see any reason to wait, Mike. Let's just do it now.
All right, well, top guys are in currently. Top guys are in currently.
Currently in.
All right, next we had the Elias segment. So Elias dropped his tunes. He gave Toronto what everyone wanted to see. He let everyone walk with Elias, the charitable guy that Elias is. The beautiful serenading of the crowd. Elias is still one of the hottest acts in WWE, even though he hasn't. I don't even know the last time he wrestled, but he put on his best display of music. And then what do you know next? The legend, the Hall of Famer, the one, the only, Trish Stratus came out, saved Toronto, the Toronto hero. She was born in Toronto, hometown Toronto, and her and Elias, they had a little verbal battle.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Mike, but I think that the price of admission for the tickets for Raw last night would have been worth just seeing Trish Stratus and Elias go back and forth with each other for 3 hours. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. Just seeing Trish Stratus for that 5 to 10 minutes was worth watching Raw all night for me. Trish was my first crush as a kid, so that was pretty cool. Pretty surreal moment. She was trading on the mic. She's looking as good as ever. She was really funny. She stood up for herself. She kind of put over Evolution. It was kind of a strange segment, but it was cool.
Yeah, I kind of think that they should have used something like this to announce the Alexa Bliss Trish Stratus match.
They did say Trish Stratus versus Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, but they announced it like last week, remember?
Oh, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Revealed last week. They should have used it to like reveal it.
I did like Alexa coming out. At least she's building her feud with Trish Stratus up. Unlike... Oh, and Alexa said she's going to get the rematch versus Alexa Bliss at Hell in a Cell. So they're teasing the Alexa Bliss versus Trish for the title. I liked how Alexa said she is replacing Trish. She's the replacement for Trish. I thought that was pretty interesting. At least they're building this feud, unlike the Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey, which is just them hugging, which I don't really understand at all. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that because there's nothing to get into. It's just them being dumb and being like, oh my god, look how good of friends we are. And it's like, that's not what I want to see. I want to see women wrestling each other and doing a really damn fine job of it that I know that they can do. So
I need my good male soap opera, and then with a touch of good wrestling, not just hugging. I need some drama, as Randy Savage would say. Drama, brother.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mike.
All right, then let's get to the main event.
All right, so we had... I can't remember. Help me remember, Mike. It was Braun. Oh, that's right. It was Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Big Daddy Mac. I'm calling him Big Daddy Mac. Big
Daddy Mac.
Big Daddy Drew Mac.
Big Drew Daddy Mac.
Sure, one of those. I'm working on it. Still workshopping it.
Okay, well, we'll get back to you guys on what we're going to officially call him. But anyway, he's the Scottish psychopath, the show-off versus the monster and the big dog. And Braun, I guess you could call it a heel turn. Kind of fucked Roman Reigns over. I mean, you know.
He did what he was doing. He got his redemption. But what I want to say... Nice. I wanted to say is, I think WWE's got like a new strategy for how they portray heels and faces, because they don't want to do the traditional route. They're trying to try a new thing, I believe. Like what Becky and Braun have done the last 2 weeks is they've kind of attacked their competitors, and they know that they're not going to get booed either way. They know they can go after these guys and get the cheers. Well, it was not that really. Braun didn't really get the cheers last night. It was more of a shock, but I think he's going to get the cheers next week for sure. Yeah, but Becky's going to get the cheers, and then Braun's going to get the cheers. I think they're just trying to... They're not really going traditional heel and face roles.
Yeah, I could definitely... I think I can definitely see the point you're coming from. That's a good point, I think, about, they're going in, like, a different direction with their heels. Trying to, revamp how they get seen a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to see how, like, what he does now. Like, does Braun, like, continue to, like, be a heel character now? Or, like, is he just, like, all right, like, that was payback, and now, like, I'm done, like, we're good, like, I'm just going to wait until Hell in a Cell, or, like, what,
I hope they just keep him being a badass, just wrecking the Shield every night.